All right, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson, 65, still alive, doing my best to thrive, and I'm here with Dr. Michael Lenoir, who has been the one that really got me started on radio and television. How are you, Dr. Lenoir?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good, good. You're looking great.
I'm trying to look good, man. I'm trying to, because you don't try to look good, people don't believe what you have to say.
Right.
I still got patience.
Right. So, right now, you've been helping to educate us on this whole COVID thing. I thought something was really funny. Today, everybody who's come here has either had a vaccine or they have had a test before they came. You said that there's going to be some people who are on the honor system. You think the honor system works?
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people have too much at stake. They either don't want to get the vaccine, they believe in their heart it will be harmful, but they want to work. And they want to go to a basketball game, or want to go to a concert or to church. And I don't think that they're going to necessarily get vaccinated. They may get a vaccination card. So I think they still pose a threat to all of those people who are vaccinated because of the pool that they represent of people who get not only the infection but the variants.
And that's what's happening. You know, it's August 2020 was 9,000 a day. August 2021, it's 12,000 a day in California. So it's worse now, and those who are getting it are the ones who are unvaccinated.
Yeah, there's no question. 99.5% of the deaths from COVID infections are unvaccinated people. One interesting statistic, in San Francisco, for every 1,000 cases of COVID infection, 2 Caucasians die. For every 1,000 infections in African Americans, 12 African Americans die. So we have a tremendous stake in trying to make this all right.
And why do you think that is? Is it because of the associated diseases, hypertension, diabetes, congestive heart failure, obesity? Why do you think that is, or lack of health care?
Well, I think we come to the table as a sicker group of people. I think from the cradle to the grave for 400 years, there's been a deficit in our health, something called health disparities. I mean, we are sicker as a group of people. And so consequently, with more obesity, more diabetes, more hypertension, the virus just looks for people like that, and the variants just stalk people like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're an immunologist. What do you think about the treatment of immunoglobulins, intravenous immunoglobulins? And have you been hearing that it works? Has it reduced the symptoms? What's your thought about that?
I don't unnecessarily think that this is more effective than you making your own. That's what the vaccine does. Most people think the vaccine is against the whole virus. It's not. The vaccine is against a portion of the virus that gets into the cell called the spike protein. So when you make your own antibodies, I make my own antibodies better than somebody's antibodies given to me. So I want to make my own antibodies, and that's what the vaccine allows me to do.
So that's the bottom line, get vaccinated. That's what we're talking about.
A couple of things now, it's even more important. It's not just for you, it's for your children. Because more and more children, as a pediatrician I can tell you, are getting infected. More and more children are having difficulties, and they can't be vaccinated. So if you get a COVID infection, they're getting COVID infections. I've had children as young as 9 weeks who've gotten COVID positive tests. So get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated for yourself, get vaccinated for the children.
All right, there you heard it from Dr. Lenoir, pediatrician, immunologist, allergist, and one that has been my trainer in healthcare and educating people in the media.
And just a good brother.
I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. Stay tuned for the Healthbeat Show.
All right, happy birthday, Dad. You're 65 years young. You're killing it. And you're my inspiration. Thank you so much for giving so much to your community, your family, and your friends. We love you so much. Happy birthday once again.
Hey, Dad, how's it going? Happy birthday. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everything you've done. You're the greatest, and enjoy your day.
Happy birthday, Dad. So happy that you're 65 and still alive and still able to thrive. Anyways, I'm just so happy that you are enjoying your day. I'm so happy to be your daughter. I'm so happy to be around you and be around how you work. And I'm so very inspired by you every day. You're such a motivating force in my life. And I just want to wish you the best. And every gift that I have, it's supported tenfold by you. And I would not be where I am today without you. So I want to say thank you and and I will continue to grow and honor you. Yes, happy birthday. 65 is still alive. Love you.
For advertising and sponsorship opportunities, log on to healthbeattv.info.
I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. For more information, go to our website, healthbeattv.info. You'll hear more about the information that we're giving you on the Healthbeat Show.
The Healthbeat Show, sponsored by Watson Wellness Water. Your health is your wealth.
And welcome back to the Healthbeat Show. I'm standing next to the great Mr. Philip Bell, one of Oakland's history folks. He was a fireman. He also has several restaurants. We've known each other for years. Now, today one of the things that we've been talking about is COVID-19. We've been talking about vaccines. We've been talking about different people getting sick and so on. Philip, you actually got sick with COVID. Tell us about that.
I got sick back in February of 20. Went on the National Brotherhood of Skiers trip back in Sun Valley, Idaho. About, 7,000 people skiing, having a wonderful time. Came back home and couldn't get out of bed for a week. Wow. It was and then after going to the hospital, it was determined that I had the COVID. So I spent 2 weeks in the hospital, came home on my 14-day quarantine. Yeah. The second day morning, woke up, had a stroke. Couldn't get out of bed. Paralyzed on half of my body. But with the prayers and grace of God, I was able to get my health back, come back. Then almost a year later in February, I had a second stroke. And initially they were not saying that it was COVID related, but then I think after they started doing some statistics or whatever, they were finding out that a lot of people were having strokes related to the COVID. But now I'm feeling good, I'm out and about, and I'm glad to be here celebrating your 65th birthday.
And I'm so glad that you're here. But you talk about something that I talked to Dr. Lenoir a little earlier. African Americans actually are dying twice as much than other racial groups. And some of it has to do with, one, we don't want to get vaccinated. That's one thing. Two, we also have hypertension, diabetes, obesity, congestive heart failure. When you add all those things in, it takes it to another level.
Absolutely.
And we saw one of the racial groups that was getting COVID a lot is the Latino population. And part of that, there's a lot of other dynamics, a lot of people in the home, maybe afraid to go to the doctor because our previous administration made it look like they would deport them. So they didn't want to go to the hospital or to the doctor and so on. But you survived.
I survived. I survived. I'm vaccinated, and now my doctor's telling me maybe I need to get the booster shot also.
Yeah, and that's going to be the next phase that we're talking about is the booster. What I've been doing is checking people's antibody levels. So, for instance, people who took the J&J vaccine.
Which is that one I had.
Yeah, what I found is the antibody level was maybe 20. Then I did people who took the Moderna or the Pfizer, and their antibody level is like 150.
Oh, really?
So I think when you start looking at the different vaccines, it's probably better to get the Moderna or the Pfizer, even though it's 2 shots. But even with all of that, how long does it last? The flu vaccine doesn't last you more than 1 year. You got to get another vaccine the next year. So we may be up for another vaccine soon.
I'll be ready for it.
Okay. You've been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
All right. Thank you. God bless, Philip Bell.
Man.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. We're speaking with the none other than Reginald Savage, one of the top dance instructors, dancers, has his own organization, also a teacher at the Oakland School of the Arts. And he is the one that taught my daughter, a black ballerina in Oakland, how to go to the next level.
And like I said, I'm ready to break down now. The thing is, as long as I keep meeting Dr. Watson's standards, I'm doing the best I can and how the best I can. So I'm just saying, his family is super.
You're so humble. I mean, but how does it feel to see the fruits of your labor? You know, you work hard. You work with young people.
I don't look at it. I swear to God, I don't look at it. When Angela comes over to train, she spends, and she loves it, she spends 1 or 2 hours laughing, making each other laugh, and then we go to work. And then when we go to work, we also make sure that Allison and I, is still working on it based upon the fact that she still got that mountain to climb up there.
Right.
And beautiful, intelligent, smart, and the more I hang around Richard, the more I see how strong Richard is getting.
He is. Richard is really. He can lift like 220 pounds. He bench presses. I was just talking to him. He sang a song to me about self-care, because I always took them out. We did athletics. We ran. We climbed the hills. I could run faster than them, and now they can run faster than me. And they see me come home after what I'm doing, and I'm tired. But one of the things I wanted to bring up is when you work with dancers, they're actually like athletes.
Yes.
They're like athletes.
Yes, they are. They are. We are. And Angela loves being that. I love being around her. She's really, and I know you know this, she's really silly. Then I get silly with her. And then Allison gets silly with her. But we love being around each other. And when it's time for business, your daughter goes like this. Joke. Angela. And there she is. And I love the fact that she does that.
Mm-hmm.
And
and since she's been with you, I mean, I have photographs of her. She's cut,
yes,
and she's toned, and she's muscular. I mean, and of course, her greatest dream in life, other than working with you, was to meet Misty Copeland, who, a black ballerina with muscles, athletic, Under Armour ads, all that kind of stuff. And working with you now, she's strong like that.
I'm crazy about your daughter. Angela.
We're talking about Angela, so he could.
She is super. She's Supergirl with a white cape, and she comes to work. Even when we're in the studio or even on stage, and I'm going like, all right, everybody, that's it, let's go, and everybody gets.
It's kind of like a quarterback.
Yeah, right.
You gotta tell everybody. Now, Angela, you surprised me with something, and you said that you became what is it with the San Francisco Ballet?
So for people who don't know ballet terminology, there are different levels. The transition from being a student to being a company member, it's very hard, and it's the equivalent to like, okay, I'm out of high school and I'm going to college now for other students. So for dancers, a trainee position is like you are doing company work. They pay for your housing. Everything is free. and you get to perform with the company. You get to perform on the War Memorial stage. You get to perform apart from the company as trainees, so you get to perform alone. They'll be like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's Angela Watson. She's a trainee. So it's like more of a solo thing as well as company work.
So it's kind of like trying out for a football team, and now you made the team.
Yeah,
you're a rookie on the team.
Basically a rookie on the team.
You're no longer a college athlete. You're actually in professional dance now.
Yeah, the levels would be it's trainee, apprentice, corps de ballet, soloist, principal, where everybody wants to get to principal. So I finally got out of the student mindset. I'm finally out, and so I'm starting my journey. So I'm trainee now, and that's like I'm in the running now. I'm in the ranking. I have a spot on the track field. I have a spot on the field, so I can.
Are there many African Americans at San Francisco Ballet that are dancing with the San Francisco Ballet?
No, there used to be when I'm a student there. I've been there for a really long time, and I've only seen two guys, and like 2 other girls, and this year they're gone. And they hired one African American principal, but she's from Sweden, so she's Swedish and Nigerian. We have nobody from the Bay Area who's black, and so I'm trying to get there. Maybe try to squeeze my way in there. That's what I'm trying to do.
And that's why I said, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And I am so proud of you, Angela. And you saw Angela dance in the backyard. I went out there and I screamed and hollered because here's my baby who is of the highest level, and she's out there dancing in my backyard. I have to scream. I'm sorry that you had to start over again, but it was so beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Stay tuned right here on the Healthbeat Show.
The Oakland Frontline Healers is an organization, or an umbrella organization, of 25 to 30 different Oakland groups and service providers that are really concerned about the racial disparities of COVID-19. We came together, honestly, out of fear, because we started to recognize that there was some real danger in the community, and we started forming up and talking every 72 hours so we could better understand what's happening. And there's no sugarcoating it. We have some very serious issues in our community.
You will hear from those involved with housing. You will hear with those who are involved with rapid response to people who are in need, homeless, some of the political issues right now, violence prevention, all types of folks. You will hear from a phone line that you can call, 510-353-3900. You call that number. Oakland Frontline Healers can help you to find a place to live, help you to get some food, help you to get tested, all types of things, help you with mental health issues, help you with your kids and your family and education, help you if you were previously incarcerated. What doctor do I go to? Where do I live? Where can I try to volunteer and get a job? That's what we're talking about today, Oakland Frontline Healers.
Once the pandemic hit, I was just given this vision to start feeding. I own a cafe in Oakland, and I was just given the vision to feed on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I do a grab-and-go lunch.
It is my honor to be in partnership with the Oakland Frontline Healers. They are an incredible collaboration of organizations that have been on the ground serving our community, serving the Black community here in Oakland.
Right now, given that the COVID crisis has happened, rapid response has been like one of the biggest elements in how we show solidarity for each other, not just as Black people, but as humans. So what we've been doing is we've been doing a lot of rapid response in the form of like just going all over Oakland, feeding the unsheltered.
We have been passionate about serving our community, the community that has been disenfranchised for many decades, all shades of brown, homeless or not. And since COVID came upon us, we definitely decided to commit our services, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and the mental wellness piece.
We're serving our Oakland community, supporting with domestic violence, reentry, homeless. We have the best doctor network in Oakland, California together on this alliance. and we're here to serve our community. Due to this crisis right now, everyone has to step their game up to elevate themselves to support the community. And number one thing first is self-care, to make sure that you have the right protection on so you're able to serve your community. And that's what the Oakland Frontline Healers are.
Okay, and welcome back to the Healthbeat Show. Joining me is none other than my wife, Carolyn Watson. And Carolyn does so many things, including raising those wonderful children, including taking care of me. And she also is the co-founder of Preventive Care Pathways, 501c3 nonprofit in which we do vaccines. We've given away food to the homeless. We've done hepatitis C testing. We've done all kinds of other things with our 501c3. How are you, dear?
I am doing fantastic today.
Okay. And what do you think about our kids getting ready to go to college?
Well, it's a little bit scary, mostly because while they are fully vaccinated, we are hearing that boosters are probably going to be required, and they are going into an environment where we used to have major concerns about meningitis, right? And we would get them vaccinated for that. But now we have this big concern about COVID and Delta. And I am just hopeful that all of the safety measures that have been put in place will remain in place long enough for us to really have our kids be safe and have me feel comfortable with them in that environment.
So Richard is going to go to Boston into the Berklee School of Music. He's going to live in a dorm. Now, are they going to test once a week? Are they going to be doing COVID tests? Are they going to require that the students be vaccinated before they come to school? Tell me the requirements about that.
So we just got our update a couple months ago, actually. And they do have a mandate. You must be fully vaccinated in order to come to campus, even if you're part-time. If you're living off campus, it doesn't matter. If you are enrolling at Berklee College of Music, or like my daughter will be at San Francisco Ballet, you must be fully vaccinated. And then they'll have certain restrictions with respect to wearing masks. And right now, state of California at least, is mask up inside. So if you're inside, they recommend that you mask up. A lot of facilities mandate it, and that's fine. But if you're outside, it's an option. So Angela is in the studio. She's on break this week, but she's going back to the studio starting tomorrow. She's fully vaccinated. Everyone that she's coming in contact with is vaccinated, and they will be masking in the studios. When Richard goes to Berklee College of Music, everyone that he's attending school with will be fully vaccinated, including the faculty. So I'm feeling very comfortable about that. And those that are not eligible for vaccination will have to submit to the very rigorous protocol of being tested frequently. So,
you know, the other thing that concerns me is we are hearing about some people breaking through who are developing COVID, possibly from the Delta virus. But they've been vaccinated. I don't know how long they've been vaccinated. I don't know if it was a week, a month, 6 months, but there are some breakthrough cases. 95% are people who are unvaccinated. So I'm hoping that even though they're vaccinated, that they'll still test them on a weekly basis.
well, they probably won't test them on a weekly basis because you have to think about like the influenza. You get a flu shot every year. I mean, sometimes twice a year, but you get a flu shot every year. Those of you who get a flu shot every year, you may still contract the flu, but you just won't be as sick. And that's kind of what's happening with this Delta breakthrough for those who are vaccinated and who do have come up with the infection through Delta. They are saying that they're not that sick. They didn't have to go to the hospital. You know, they just had the sniffles, sore throat, and these types of things. So I think that it's working, even though there are breakthroughs. And I do think that some of the vaccines, like the Pfizer and certainly the Johnson & Johnson, are going to mandate booster shots, which I agree that they should have booster shots just because of the percentage of protection that you get from those vaccines. So my son has the Pfizer, and that does concern me, and I am looking to get him.
J&J?
No, he has Pfizer.
Well, I had Pfizer. That's the best one.
Moderna.
No, I had Pfizer.
Oh,
And that's what I took. We give Moderna at
right.
the office.
So I had Moderna.
But I had Pfizer, and that was the first one out.
Right. They're saying that the Pfizer needs booster. And so they have already actually started offering boosters to those who are high risk. And they expect to offer the booster to other people who have gotten the Pfizer in the next month or two. So
I guess I better get it. I better get it.
Yeah.
All right. Here you are with Mommy.
Now that you're 65, you're
65, still alive and still going to thrive to keep it going. All right. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. Stay tuned.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. Thanks for being with us on this episode of the Healthbeat Show, where we try to educate you about different aspects of healthcare, about eating right, exercising right, what you can do to help yourself, how to access the healthcare system, what kind of questions to ask, what you should do for any particular disease state. Because I always believe that your health is your wealth, and when you have your health, you have everything. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. We'll see you next time.
You don't have to take my word, but I heard if you have your health, you have everything. Take my word, but I heard about the Healthbeat. You're good.